The Dark Side of Santa Claus, 11 Scary Truths You Didn't Know. Santa Claus, the jolly old man who brings gifts and spreads cheer during the holiday season, is one of the most beloved figures in the world. But beneath his fluffy white beard and warm red suit lies a history that's far more mysterious, eerie, and even sinister than most realize. From ancient folklore to unsettling origins, Santa's story is steeped in pagan traditions, supernatural myths, and dark cultural twists. These 11 scary truths will uncover the shadowy origins and creepy connections behind the Santa we know today, revealing how he evolved from a figure of fear and mystery to the commercialized icon of joy and giving. Whether it's his ties to the Norse god Odin, ominous companions like Krampus, or the strange surveillance-like nature of his gift-giving, Santa's story might just make you see him in a different light this Christmas. Let's dive into the chilling truths lurking behind the jolly facade of Saint Nick. Number 1. Santa Claus and Odin, the Wild Hunt Connection. In Norse mythology, Odin was a powerful, wise, and sometimes fearsome god. He was often depicted as a long-bearded figure who rode an 8-legged horse named Sleipnir through the skies. This image has some clear parallels to Santa Claus, who rides a sleigh pulled by 8 reindeer. Odin is strongly associated with the Wild Hunt, a spectral procession of ghostly riders that stormed across the night skies during the midwinter season, Yule. The Wild Hunt was both awe-inspiring and terrifying, as it was believed to bring death or disaster to those who encountered it. People would leave offerings outside their homes to appease Odin and his hunters, hoping to avoid their wrath. Over time, this tradition of leaving offerings evolved into the practice of leaving treats for Santa and his reindeer. Odin was also known for rewarding loyalty and punishing wrongdoing, much like Santa Claus rewards well-behaved children with gifts and punishes the naughty with coal. During Yule, children would leave food for Sleipnir in their boots, and in return, Odin would leave small gifts or coins, a precursor to modern Christmas stockings. While today's Santa Claus is warm and welcoming, Odin's portrayal could be quite sinister. His role in the Wild Hunt made him a harbinger of death, and his gaze, often depicted as all-seeing, added an air of surveillance. This echoes the idea of Santa knowing if you've been bad or good, which might feel less comforting when tied to Odin's ominous presence. 2. Krampus and punishments for naughty kids. In European folklore, Santa wasn't always the jolly giver of gifts. Instead, his companion Krampus, a terrifying horned demon, was responsible for punishing naughty children. While good children received gifts from St. Nicholas, naughty ones were whipped, carried off in sacks, or worse. This sinister counterpart paints a much darker picture of the holiday season. Number 3. St. Nicholas's miracles had a dark side. The historical St. Nicholas, a 4th century bishop, is known for acts of kindness and miracles. However, one particularly grim story involves him resurrecting 3 murdered children who were pickled in barrels by an evil butcher. This tale, though miraculous, adds a macabre twist to his legacy. Number 4. Santa's surveillance, the Big Brother angle. The modern image of Santa, knowing when you're sleeping, knowing when you're awake, can feel unsettling when viewed through the lens of surveillance culture. Santa's omniscient presence, keeping tabs on every child's behavior, introduces a concept eerily akin to Orwellian control, normalized in the spirit of holiday cheer. Number 5. The pagan connection to sacrifices. Some of Santa's traditions can be traced back to pre-Christian pagan rituals, where winter solstice celebrations often involved sacrifices to gods or spirits to ensure prosperity and survival through harsh winters. While Santa's gift-giving is now harmless, it has echoes of these ancient practices. Number 6. The original elves were origins in European folklore, where elves were often mischievous, malevolent, or even dangerous supernatural beings. These early elves were known to play tricks, cause illness, or steal children, which starkly contrasts with their modern depiction as helpful toy makers. Number 7. The fearsome Belsnickel. Belsnickel, another figure from German folklore, is an early companion of Santa who is far less jolly. He would appear in homes to judge children, dressed in rags and carrying a whip or switch. If the children were good, they might receive small treats. If not, They could expect a harsh punishment, reinforcing fear over holiday cheer. Number 9. The red suit and the devil's color. Santa's red suit is often associated with Coca-Cola's branding, but the color red also has a darker historical association. In medieval Christianity, red was tied to the devil, symbolizing danger, temptation, and sin. While Santa's red suit is now festive, its origins could evoke more sinister connections to fear and power. Number 10. The polar origins of his flying reindeer. Santa's flying reindeer are inspired by the mythology of the indigenous Sami people of Scandinavia, who held reindeer as sacred animals. Their shamans would consume hallucinogenic mushrooms to communicate with spirits, and these visions often included reindeer flying across the northern lights. This psychedelic inspiration adds an unexpected mystical layer to the reindeer's origins. Number 11. Santa's role in wartime propaganda. During both World Wars, Santa Claus was used in propaganda to encourage support for the war effort. Advertisements depicted Santa buying war bonds or delivering supplies to soldiers, tying him to nationalistic causes. While seemingly patriotic, this version of Santa was stripped of his universal message of goodwill and used as a tool to promote division and militarization. During World War I, Santa was depicted as a patriotic figure, supporting soldiers and promoting home front efforts. During World War II, the use of Santa in propaganda became more pronounced and sophisticated. While these campaigns helped unify people behind the war effort, they also altered Santa's universal message of peace and goodwill. By associating Santa with a specific side in the conflict, his image became tied to nationalism rather than universal celebration. This contributed to the polarization between warring nations. Using Santa to promote war stripped some of the innocence and joy from his image, particularly for children who saw their favorite figure associated with violence and sacrifice. These dark historical connections to Santa Claus show how a seemingly cheerful figure can be shaped by fear, control, and societal struggles. Despite his modern image, Santa's history is a woven tapestry of folktales, legends, manipulation, and transformation.